You mean if I know what I want to do after my PhD? Of course I do. I know what I want to do. I want to be a lecturer. I want to remain in academia. Yeah, that's what I want to do. When I'm in front of students, that's my happiest moment. Yeah, I want to lecture in public health.
What I would love to do, I mean, I went for an interview in December for the Brilliant Club, and I got in. So I'm going to be a tutor for the Brilliant Club, which is, I don't know if you know about it. Yeah. So I did a little bit of my PhD, which is the philosophy side of things, and it's to do with self. So it worked really well, obviously, with selfies today and how we act. And my work's all about the imperfection and acceptance of imperfection, and not to strive to be perfect all the time, because I work with fragments and I rejoin things. So that's one of the things. So they basically said, you know, once you're with us, you can just keep continuing with us. Once you've done your doctorate, if you want to stay with us, you can stay with us. My ideal thing would be to set up my own artist residencies, you know, where people could come to me and I could teach them skill. So whether it's jewelry design, making things in silver, gold, any materials they want to, and throwing on a wheel. So I throw on a potter's wheel. Those sort of disciplines and those beautiful crafts would be lovely just to teach the others. That would be my ideal thing to do. Yeah. So it's a constant thing, isn't it, to sort of pass it along so it doesn't die out.
After my PhD, I'm not quite sure, if I'm completely honest, what comes after the PhD. I know that I'll feel really proud, and I know that if I can do this, then I don't think there are many limits to the other things that I can do in terms of my confidence and my self-belief. So at the moment, I'm not putting too much pressure on myself about what comes next, because in the same way that in just a year of doing the PhD, my research topic has changed, my skills and experience have massively changed. And so actually in another 2 years, I could be in another completely different place, and there might be an opportunity that I haven't even considered. So right now, I'm just concentrating on the next 2 years, and then after that, I'll have a rethink.
So what would I like to do after my PhD? So I think this has changed from when I started the PhD to now. So originally I wanted to be a clinical psychologist or psychiatrist. I wanted to go down the clinical route, and the only way I thought this was possible was going through the PhD journey. Over the 3 years of doing the PhD, that has shifted completely. I think what I want to do in the future is I want to go into research and or academia, stay in academia and continue doing research. But this has, as I said, this has changed significantly over the years. But I would love to be a researcher, and I think that the journey of the PhD over the 3 years has really opened my eyes to why research is really important and how that can be used to help that particular cohort. If I am able to pretty much single-handedly help change people's lives in the future, then this is something I want to continue doing.
I think it's good to have sight of what you want to do afterwards. It helps as motivation, if nothing else. You know, you've got to have a reason for signing up for your PhD. You've got to have some goal at the end of it. And mine was teaching, and I got very fortunate that I'd got the teaching experience alongside. And it has been worth it, as much as it was a juggle between my teaching and my PhD. I have managed to secure myself a teaching role for when I finish. It has all paid off. I've just got a few more months of juggling PhD and teaching until I can submit and hopefully pass my Viva.
So to me, a PhD is more like a stepping stone to get into maybe autism research in the future, or potentially going into another course, another training for clinical psychology. I'm not completely sure of what I want to do yet. My supervisors are very nice, and they told me if I would like to talk about my future career plans, I could always just talk to them about it. Yeah. Yes.
I am not completely sure what I want to do after my PhD yet. So far, I think I do want to stay in research and in academia. And I think so far the university has been quite good with giving us some information, I think, just about month or two ago, we actually had a little talk about life after your PhD. So that makes me feel a lot less insecure about what's coming after.
I haven't thought about what's next because I still feel like there's a long road ahead of me. I'm new. I'm still in the first year of my PhD, so I know what I'd like to do next, but I haven't had a conversation about it with anyone. I feel I need to live in the now a little bit more. Take one day at a time. Do what I need to do now. Work on the PhD the best I can, and maybe coming into the third year, into the writing process, I may start to have those conversations. I may start thinking about what's next for me, what I can do, and what I need to do to get there, and how I need to do that. But at the moment, I'm just focusing on the PhD and what I'm doing currently, making sure I'm doing that the best I can.
After my PhD, I'd like to continue doing research, but in a commercial setting, working with a business, and I've been working with this business through most of my PhD due to the collaborations that the university has allowed me to set up. So I'm excited to go and work for them full time.
Yes, my supervisors have spoken to me about my career path and things like that, and how to achieve that goal, and when it's appropriate to start applying for jobs and things like that. And it's to be a lecturer. I would love to be a lecturer. That's my prime focus. I've also considered research, but I would have to consider what research it was and in what avenue it was. If it was research into technology and people's uses of technology and things like that, yes, I'd be interested in that. But I really enjoy the teaching, so I think the university lecturer would be great for me.